Shoal Creek Valley. If you're in Shoal Creek Valley, you might have hailstones the size of baseballs. And again, we have had, when these storms have been coming through particular parts of the state, we've had a lot of damage. Roof damage, windows blown out, car windshields destroyed, cars damaged with dents all over them. So this is a very destructive night for hail in the state. And again, this might be, one of these nights where that's going to be the big story. We've not had that much tornado damage so far, but we have probably had extensive hail damage across the state. Let's go to the big picture behind me, the big radar, the Max 1. And what I want to do is show some more of the hail images coming in from across the state. We thank everybody for taking the time to send these to us because your pictures are our window to the world. Yeah, check this out. This is what we've got here. I mean, this is going to be common. Folks that are coming out to these windshields that are just totally shattered like that. This is the back window of a car, or what used to be the back window of a car in Cleburne, and you can still see those large hailstones in there. There's nothing left of that back window. It's just gone. Again, not only do you have the damage from the windshields, you've got damage to the bodies of these cars with the dents that this stuff can fall. This was taken from Wellington in Cleburne County. And again, we're going to have a pile of videos coming in and we'll be watching these. But again, this is an example of some of this very large hail that was falling in Cleburne County earlier this evening. So again, let's go back to the main graphics behind us. If you're just joining us here, it is 8 o'clock. This is ABC 3340, WBMA Birmingham. We have a tornado warning in effect now for northern Etowah County, a severe thunderstorm warning for the rest of Etowah County, a severe thunderstorm warning for St. Clair County. This is for large hail, and I mean large hail. We're not fooling around whenever we say large hail. Baseball, maybe softball size in some of these storms. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for northern Blount County, same thing for hail. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for Cullman County, same thing, large hail. And in the case of a night like this, it could very well be that the most destruction is going to be from hail. Now, there's some good news to tell you. We got some counties cleared from the tornado watch back in through here. Up in North Alabama, let's bump it down a little bit, Charles, so we can see the Tennessee state line. Now, Madison has been cleared, Morgan, Lawrence, Lauderdale, Colbert, Franklin, and Limestone. Those counties have been cleared from the tornado watch. The tornado risk is over, but for the counties in yellow, the tornado threat continues until 11 o'clock tonight. And again, we stress this is a PDS tornado watch, a particularly dangerous situation in that we have potential for extremely large hail and a few tornadoes. And where tornadoes do form, if one storm can become dominant without having to compete for moisture, that could produce a long-track tornado. It has not happened so far tonight. The storms have been tightly clustered, which is a good thing. They fight, they compete for that moisture. And again, for now, we're down to this one tornado warning, northern Etowah, southern DeKalb counties up here in northeast Alabama. And again, we advise no traveling along Interstate 59 between Gadsden and Collinsville for about the next 15 minutes. I'd say I wouldn't try until 8:30. And besides, if you don't have a tornado, you might wind up with your windshield taken out by hail. I don't even want to know for the people that tried to drive along Interstate 65 during that Cullman County hailstorm what happened. Hopefully they heard the warning and they pulled off, but it's been brutal. So I would certainly not be driving along Interstate 59 because, if nothing else, of this very large hail, but certainly because of the chance of a tornado from Gadsden to Collinsville. But again, the tornado warning is for areas north of Gadsden. Again, this is basically from Reese City north up into southern DeKalb County up to Collinsville. This includes Sardis City, Whitesboro, Duck Springs, Reese City, Turkeytown. Turkeytown is on US 411 between Gadsden and Center in Leesburg up and through here. And we'll see if the Weather Service extends this over into Cherokee County. We'll watch the velocity images pretty carefully on radar. At the moment, the circulation is fairly broad. Well, there we go. Tornado warning for Cherokee County. Here's a new tornado warning. This is in effect for much of Cherokee County. This includes Cedar Bluff, Leesburg, Center, Galesville. So the call to action now is for those of you in Cherokee County to go to a safe place. That is a small room on the lowest floor near the center, away from windows. This is a storm that has been rotating for a while. It has been steadily rotating. And again, it could be rotating right now. In fact, let's go back to the high-resolution radar.
And we had a question, James, folks in Sardis City and Mountain Borough were asking. They still need to be in their safe place right now.
Yes. In fact, this is your circulation right here. And what I want to do, I want to look at this maybe from a different radar, so I'm going to pop on the Huntsville radar just to get a second opinion, if you will. And again, you can see that there's clearly some circulation going on through here, but I think Birmingham is probably going to be the best choice. The radar beam is going to be a few thousand feet off the ground. The way radar works, radar goes in a straight line. The Earth curves, so as the beam gets farther away from the radar site, it's higher and higher. And it's preferable to detect tornadoes to be at the lowest level you can. And we're using the 0.5 degree tilt. That's the lowest beam height. So again, this is not on the ground at several thousand feet up, but clearly I can give, let's say this. US 431 and points west will give you an all clear from this. The concern now is east of US 431. So again, for about 10 minutes, if you're in Sardis City or Whitesboro, stay put, stay in your shelter. You can, let's say, stay in there until about 8:15. And again, that circulation is going to be coming across Interstate 59 north of Gadsden. It'll be coming through Duck Springs, Wills Valley, and then moving into Cherokee County. And that's the reason we have the warning now for Cherokee County. And again, the warning will include places like Leesburg, Center, Cedar Bluff, and Galesville. So if you're in Cherokee County, you need to be in a safe place. That is a small room on the lowest floor near the center and away from windows. Looking at some other reports, Arab police indicates they have roof damage at Arab Junior High School. That might be from hail. You know, the one thing we're going to have to sort out is whether the damage was from a tornado or from large hail. Trees blown down in Sardis City along Leith Gap Road, which is a beautiful drive, by the way. And again, this thunderstorm with a possible tornado and large hail, it's moving into Cherokee County. So the bottom line is, if you're in Cherokee County, be sheltered. Let's go back to the graphic system. Let me clean this up. The velocity images are noisy tonight. This is not a clean night. A lot of times we can show you a tight couplet, a classic hook. It's not a night like that. We've got a tornado warning in effect for far southern DeKalb, northern Etowah, in much of Cherokee County, Galesville, Cedar Bluff, Leesburg, Center. Weiss Lake, if you live on the lake, you've got to be in a safe place. This, by the way, does include Sand Rock up here on Lookout Mountain. So you just got to be sheltered. This does not include the southern end of Cherokee County. If you're down there towards Spring Garden or Goshen, this doesn't include you. This is for the central and northern end of the county, those areas around Weiss Lake. So a tornado warning in effect now for Cherokee County until 9 o'clock Central Time tonight. All right, so that's the situation there. And Charles, we've not heard of any damage in Blount, have we?
Other than the hail, that's about it. I've seen some large reports of hail, I believe all the way back, maybe a golf ball sized hail just a little while ago. But that's it. That's in Susan Moore. I know they had some golf ball sized hail. We've got reports of hail all through really in parts of Blount and even down into St. Clair County as well, some pea-sized hail around. We've got a report of a possible funnel cloud near Leesburg. Interesting, so kind of following that. But no, I mean, the hail, I think that's the best part about this, is that we can deal with the hail, we can replace stuff. But no injuries that we know of yet so far. I know we had some damage in Cullman County. We were asking him about Stephen Quinn, one of our reporters there, whether he'd gotten out of the shelter yet. There was some damage there near the jail. We know that. But that's really the only damage that we know of so far. And again, we'll be continuing to follow some spots of possibly some large hail. Just keep in mind, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings. We've seen large baseball-sized hail out of some of these storms, even a little bit larger than baseball-sized hail. And these storms have been cyclic. They'll grow, they'll drop a lot of hail, they'll drop back down, they'll weaken a bit, but then they redevelop, and that's what we're seeing over the same areas, and that's why we have some very heavy rainfall as well. You've got some flash flood warnings in parts of Cullman County, and then we've got the 2 tornado warnings that we're continuing to follow. The sliver, that northern sliver of Etowah County, is until 8:30, I believe, and then 9 o'clock for Cherokee County. So we're going to be here for a while or until the threat disappears, but still some pretty good indications of rotation. If you are in those areas, if you're in northern Etowah or most of Cherokee County, you need to be in your safe place immediately. And so I hear we've got Stephen Quinn. I don't know if we've got him on a live shot or a phoner, but we'll check in with him right now. Stephen, I heard you had a little rough go there in Coleman County.
Charles, I can tell you we were in the shelter and we saw some pea-sized hail when we were in there. A lot of heavy wind, but boy, that was just obviously not the worst part of that. We were over near Statesman's Park. As you can hear the thunder, as we just saw a big bolt of lightning near us. I mentioned hail, rather, pea-sized hail. We'll take a look at this because this is what was falling here. Literally almost baseball-sized hail. And to give you a sense of just how much, look at this. This is what came off the roof of this church right here. We're at Grace Chapel here in Coleman. And if you look over here, Chris, if we pan over, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but if you can see those windshields over there, most of the back windshields, the ones that are more horizontal, completely broken, shattered. These people right here, though, they were able to get in here in their cars over this overhang here at Grace Chapel and were able to avoid having their cars damaged. I'm joined by these two right here, and I didn't even introduce myself earlier. I'm Steven, but it's nice seeing y'all. Tell us real quick what it was like when you were out here as that hail, the ones we just showed, started to fall.
Well, it started hailing real small, and then it kept getting bigger. And we pulled under here, and the truck started rocking, and it was just a bad storm, but
You said that the truck was rocking even while you were in here in the overhang.
yeah.
Was there anyone else over here? And if so, what was it like? What was it the sounds like when that started falling?
Well, the hail was making so much wreckage you couldn't hear anything else. So,
And do you guys live here in the area?
yeah, about a mile from here.
Have you heard from your neighbors about how your house is?
Not yet.
Oh, certainly.
Other than our neighbor across the street said their windows were all busted out of their vehicles.
How long did it last, would you say? The whole hail that we saw that's damaging hail.
Probably 15 minutes.
So what do you guys do now?
We're going to go home.
Well, amen for that. Well, we appreciate it. We're glad you all are safe. Their car, as you guys can see, not damaged, but it certainly is a different case. In fact, Chris, if we can walk through here, again, it's amazing to see just how much hail fell off. Look at it right there. That's what the roof looked like, but many cars not damaged. This right here is just one of those. This is what it looks like across all this portion of Coleman. So a lot of damage out here. We're going to keep surveying the area and bring you more as we see it for right now. But obviously a situation where hail seems to be the main factor we're hearing here. We do have some reports also of mainly hail and wind damage. We did talk to Coleman County EMA, and that was what they were able to pass along to us. And we'll pass along more to you as soon as we get another chance to get out here, getting our first sights really of what happened here in Coleman. Charles, James?
Yeah, we're, again, watching a lot of the reports come in. And again, if you're just joining us, we're here because of tornado warnings in effect for northern Etowah and Cherokee counties in our viewing area. Let's put the radar back here, Charles, behind us. And if you're in those tornado warning polygons, go to a safe place. Don't wait. Small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. You've got a severe thunderstorm warning for many places where all these storms are in progress for the possibility of large hail. Got a report of trees down in Sneed. Windows blown out at a supermarket there in Sneed. And I'm afraid we're going to see many, many, many reports like that. In fact, these reports are just so numerous, and I've probably had 500 reports of images of hail. And again, it's there's going to be a lot of damage here, a whole lot of damage. And it's going to be a very rough night, and folks, it's never easy when you have a windshield busted, your windows, the roof, the whole thing. It's just challenging. But for the moment, we've got to focus on where we stand, and the call to action is for those in Cherokee County to be in a safe place, and northern Etowah County as well. And again, we stress, in addition to the tornado threat, you've got this large hail, which could very well be the biggest threat of all. And we're watching velocity products carefully, and we've still got pretty good rotation in this storm that is moving out of northern Etowah into Cherokee counties. In fact, let's put WEX 05 back here behind me for just a second. Let me show you the rotation on this. Again, you can see there's your rotation, and Leesburg is right over here. There's Sand Rock up on the mountain. This is center right here. Of course, Weiss Lake is rolling through here. Galesville and Cedar Bluff over on the other side of Weiss Lake, but you got to be in a safe place. Don't take this thing lightly. in that you need to be sheltered for a tornado. And that's a small room, lowest floor, near the center, no windows. This is a site-built home. If you live in a mobile home, or you got to leave. And if you're in a car, you've got to get out. We don't want anybody driving near this thing. Nobody should be driving on US 411. That's one of the major routes through Cherokee County, or any highway, Alabama Highway 68, US 411, Alabama Highway 9. You know the roads coming through Cherokee County. Just don't drive. The best thing to do is to be in a safe place until this passes. And remember, in addition to the tornado threat, we've got a whole lot of large hail that we are dealing with. So understand this has been a very rough night, and do what you can to protect your vehicle, but we advise you not to get out in it because, Charles, this can hurt people.
Yeah, that, and you know, James, we're getting some reports now of some trees down throughout parts of Blount County as well. And you guys can leave the video up and we can take some live shots if you want. But right now what we're looking at is some trees down, so I can look at this through Blount County. The fire department reporting several trees down on Hopewell Road. We're getting reports of power flashes now near Nakalula Falls and Gadsden and the Gadsden area, so know that. Blount County 911 reported multiple trees down on Daylily Lane a little earlier, so we're starting to see that. That too becomes a hazard. If you're driving an area, the lights are out, maybe you come around a quick curve, and then all of a sudden there's a tree blocking the road. The roads are wet, you can't stop in time, so that now becomes another hazard as well. So we're starting to get reports of trees down. And then, of course, you've got to deal with the large hail. So at this point, we ask that you stay inside. Now, there's a lot of people that haven't had any storms yet tonight. And there's a good chance that some folks might get away without anything. But remember, these are our neighbors, and we've got to monitor and follow this up through the evening hours. And this is going to continue for a while longer. The roads in many spots have a lot of water crossing over them, as you can see here at the Gadsden HD cam. Some very heavy rainfall, maybe some small hail, and then again, you run into that issue of maybe some trees down as well. Quick programming note, because I know they're complaining, James, I just realized it's 8:15. You can DVR Idle tonight, 12:35. Tonight at 12:35, you can DVR that. You'll be able to watch it, so quit sending us the hate mail and stop it. Just stop it now. But just know that the storms tonight, still a long way to go before these begin to wash out. We've still got some strong and severe storms. And James, it looks like they issued a new tornado warning to the south. Did I miss? Did that just pop up?
Yeah, Calhoun and Etowah.
They just did, didn't they?
We got a tornado warning in effect for Calhoun.
And that's that storm we were watching rotate near Asheville.
Yeah, I mean.
My goodness.
I think that's probably the right thing to do. Let's go to let's put on the polygons, Charles. We'll take off the radar data. And again, you can see this is what we have now. So this is our new tornado warning. This is going to include the far eastern part of St. Clair County. I'm sorry, Etowah County. The far southern part of Etowah County. This is down below Rainbow City. This will include Highway 77, basically south of the river. And then over into Calhoun County. Now, this is going to include places like Jacksonville on Alabama Highway 21. And let's stay too, Charles. Anniston is not in this. Anniston, Oxford, and really Alexandria. You're not in this. You might have an Alexandria mailing address, and you might want to go to a safe place. But this is the northern part of Calhoun County. Oxford, not involved. Anniston, not involved. Sax, Weaver, you are not in this. This is for the northern part of Calhoun County. And again, you can see those communities, the Duke and Wellington, Angel, Highway 204, Pleasant Valley, High School, Jacksonville, Highway 21. This does include Piedmont, and then it includes Highway 9, but not all the way down to White Plains. White Plains is not in this. So the southern end of the county is not involved. And really, Ohatchee is not heavily involved in this. Ohatchee, you can see, is south of the polygon. So if you're in that polygon, you respect it and you go to a safe place. And again, I know we sound repetitive, but people, when they hear their weather radio go off and they turn on the television, they're seeing us for the first time. So if you're in northern Calhoun, north of Anniston, you want to be in a small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. No mobile homes, no cars. And understand these storms, in addition to producing tornadoes, are also producing very, very large hail. So let's go put behind me the WEXO 5, the high-res radar. And really, I'm seeing two distinct circulations in through here, Charles. I've got one over the Shoal Creek Valley, southeast of Asheville, and one that's located just north of Ohatchee. And that thing's pretty close to Ohatchee High School and the elementary school. And there's two circulations. And again, these things are coming down the railroad tracks like two trains. So circulation number one, circulation number two, and those are going to roll over here into northern Calhoun County. So we've got two distinct circulations, making this really a pretty dangerous situation here. So this is a tornado warning in effect for extreme southern Etowah, not including Gadsden. Gadsden, you've got a tornado warning north of you and one south of you, but you've got that hail going on. You understand, we're talking the tornado threat here. So both of these circulations, Shoal Creek Valley and St. Clair County near Ohatchee, those are moving on to the east, and that's going to cross northern Calhoun County. So let's go back to the main graphic system, and I want to show the big picture. Charles, let's pop the radar on here with kind of a big perspective, and let's expand that out. And there you go. We have strong to severe storms, heavy rain, large hail, a few tornadoes, and these are producing also maybe some flooding issues here at Cullman County under a flash flood warning. And again, those kind of move in the same direction through northern Blount, through Etowah County, southern Marshall. We have that new storm that's forming down here near Asheville. And then we've got the one here that's coming into northern Calhoun County. Tornado warning in effect for Cherokee County, tornado warning in effect for northern Calhoun County for two separate rotations over on the eastern side of the state. These are dangerous storms that are life-threatening. In addition, they could produce hail the size of baseballs or larger, enough to cause extensive damage. The reports I'm seeing out of Cullman, we've got extensive damage in the city of Cullman from hail. This is going to be a major, major, major monetary loss tonight from vehicles and roofs and businesses that have been damaged by hail. So understand these are storms that really mean business. And again, this is the circulation that'll be coming right through northern Calhoun County right here. And that's passing, the circulation's a smidgen north of Ohatchee. And again, that'll be coming out here. This is US 431 right here. And that's near Webster's Chapel. And then that will be ultimately coming out here, maybe near Jacksonville or north of there. This is Roy Webb Road that runs up from Highway 21 back up to 278 up here. The bottom line is, you just want to be in a good, safe place if you're in any of these places we've talked about tonight. Please take these things seriously. We've had a lot of issues tonight from hail, wind, and tornadoes, and we don't want any loss of life. We have not had loss of life tonight. To my knowledge, we've had no injuries tonight, which is a marvelous thing, but we want you to be in a good, safe place because the event is not over yet. Again, what I'm going to do, Charles, is probably post some more of these images here in just a second. But the images that are coming in from the hail, it's pretty extreme. And again, we're getting reports of a lot of damage, mainly from the hail tonight. So it has been pretty rough. Let me show an image here if we can. Let's go back to WEXO 5. This is from Hazel Green. Hazel Green's north of Huntsville in Madison County, and this is what could be tornado damage. There have been multiple storms rolling through these areas, and again, that's an example, maybe straight line winds, maybe tornado. So in addition to the hail, we've had that going on as well. So let's go back to the radar, and again, this is Cherokee County, and we have a large mass of heavy rain here embedded within that, potential for a tornadic circulation coming right on top of Weiss Lake. And we encourage everybody in Cherokee County to stay sheltered. The Weather Service has expired the tornado warning for northern Etowah. So we'll give you an all clear: Sardis City, Whitesboro, Duck Springs, Turkeytown, all clear. That rotation is now into Cherokee County exclusively. So the tornado warning for northern Etowah is over. You can come out of your safe place and going about your business. We do have the tornado warning in effect for Cherokee County that remains in effect. And again, what we have to do is watch the velocity displays very carefully because the velocity displays will tell the story. Let's go back to the high-res radar.
Hey, James, I just want to relay. We've got the reports of that, with the sun going down, we can't see, but two different reports of that smell of strong, fresh pine scent, that snapped pine trees, one in Sneed and then through Walnut Grove. So we may have some trees down or snapped in those areas. So again, don't venture out on the roads, people. Stay inside and let the crews do what they have to do to clean up.
Yeah, seeing, again, reports coming in from social media Brother-in-law's parents in Cullman have holes in their roof and no power.
My goodness.
And with rain pouring down. You know, this, if you are sitting in a house where there's no damage and you've not had a storm, you are blessed. Count them, because a lot of people are suffering tonight. And again, we've got multiple circulations. Let me just kind of show you what's going on here. This is a circulation near center. This is the reason for the tornado warning for Cherokee County. Is it the greatest tornadic circulation we've seen? Not really, but then again, it's pretty tight. And you have to assume there's a tornado down here. You have to do that as a course of least regret. So if you are in, and let me just say this is Galesville up here, and this is Cedar Bluff. More than likely, this is going to be coming down through here. More than likely, it stays south of Cedar Bluff and south of Galesville. Technically, that polygon is in effect up here. And again, if you're in the polygon, just be in a safe place. That's the right thing to do. The polygons allow for a lot of error, but it looks like the core thread is going to be coming right down through here. And again, Cedar Bluff here, it's going to cross right over the lake. Leesburg is back in through here. So the circulation has come through Leesburg. It's kind of trucking down US 411, Alabama 68 down towards center. And then it's going to keep on going, ultimately moving into Georgia. So this is the reason for the tornado warning in effect for Cherokee County. Now let's go down to the warning for Etowah County. And again, you know, you kind of got these two distinct circulations. You got this one near the Shoal Creek Valley, and then you got this one that's east of Ohatchee. But this thing, this one right here is about to cross U.S. Highway 431. Alexandria is down in through here, and so it's about to cross over Highway 431 near or maybe just south of Webster's Chapel. And then that's going to keep on moving like this. And remember, the storms are moving a little south of due east. There's no northward component of motion here. There's a little southward component. Jacksonville is here. That's Highway 21. So nobody should be driving certainly along US 431 now because the circulation's over that. And nobody should be driving along Alabama Highway 21. Then Alabama Highway 9 is over here. This is Piedmont. So these are your major north-south highways. US 431, Alabama 21, Alabama Highway 9. We advise no driving until this thing passes on and gets out of here, gets over into Georgia. Again, that is a fairly noisy signature, but again, we have to assume there's a tornado there. That's the best thing to do when the atmospheric conditions are like this. Got a report of marble-sized hail at Blackwell's Crossroads. That's between Center and Cedar Bluff. And we're going to see, if you've only got marble-sized hail, you're blessed because a lot of this damage, I don't even want to see what this looks like tomorrow morning.
I mean, softball-sized hail is not out of the question that we've seen. I mean, we've seen 4 or 5 inch hail in some spots, and you know, your windshields are gone, the rear windows are gone, holes in the roof of some homes. And here's a live shot from Cullman. Look at that. You see? And that's not just dangerous. I mean, that you get out there, you can get injured, severely injured by being out in these storms if you are just caught in a severe thunderstorm warning with hail that size. So just amazing what we've seen. Oh, goodness. And then there's a child's car seat in there. That just breaks your heart. You know, that's going to be something they got to get cleaned up, and they've got to use that vehicle, you know.
Let me show you, we'll go back to that in just a second. Let me show you a picture on WEX 05. That's a quarter down there. That's softball-sized hail. That's softball-sized hail. This is what came through Cullman County. That's just remarkable. You've got a penny and you've got a quarter in through there.
Got some power outages in Rainbow City.
Yeah, but again, you can see beat everything up. They live behind the Walmart in Cullman. Larger than softball-sized hail around 7 o'clock. That's what's been breaking all these windows. Let's go back to that live shot if we can, if we've got that. I'd like to kind of go back and establish that. And again, understand this is what people are going to be dealing with tomorrow. And this is not over. These storms are propagating down to the east and south. And
oh my goodness.
You know, if you have not had a storm yet, you don't want these storms. You might get one tonight if you're to the south of where these storms have been. So far, the Birmingham Metro has been spared. Tuscaloosa has been spared. But as the storms develop, if they develop southward and westward, you could wind up with that. This thing is not over. You've got to stay alert and understand that this has caused a lot of human suffering tonight. And it's just been a really, really rough ride. And again, that's an example of what has happened in in so many counties around the state. And Charles, that's, you know, we've got the video coming from Cullman, but this is not the only place here.
No, we've had numerous reports. I mean, I would say hundreds of pictures coming in with golf ball to baseball-sized hail. We told you about that earlier today, that was going to be the threat, one of the main primary risks today. And you can see here just the damage coming in. So just all around bad day with that. That's rough right there. Goodness.
Wow.
Even just the actual frame is just bent. And that takes some pretty good sized hail to cause damage like that. I don't know if the photographer can hear us, but there you go. There's the front. That's what I was wanting to see.
Here's another note. This person sent me a note. A relative works at the Walmart in Cullman on Olive Street. She's been stuck there since 7 o'clock. The hail has taken out the sky windows out of the ceiling. They have 2 inches of rain standing. Vehicles all over the parking lot would look just like that. So again, these are examples of what's happened over a fairly wide area, which is just concerning. But again, this is the big picture. If you are south of Interstate 20, so far so good. And again, if you've not had to deal with stuff, don't get mad. You ought to be thankful. Up here, it's been brutal. And again, these storms are migrating to the south and east. And remember, they could keep on working their way down to the south. The high-resolution modeling are suggesting they'll do that. So if you've not had a storm, you still could have a storm tonight, as these things are still in a very prime atmosphere. But the reason we are here, we have 2 tornado warnings, one for Cherokee County. We have a tornadic storm that's coming right on top of Weiss Lake. That's crossed over through Leesburg and Center. It's coming out, the circulation's coming out over on the eastern side of Weiss Lake, and that storm will ultimately cross over into Georgia. But again, that is tornadic storm number 1. Down to the south, we have tornadic storm number 2, and this is coming through northern Calhoun County. And again, that circulation is crossed over US 431. And then next it's going to be crossing over Highway 21, pretty close to Jacksonville. You know, Jacksonville's had a rough ride. A couple of weeks ago, Charles, remember that they had a rain shower that came through and knocked down trees all over the place with no thunder and no lightning. So there was a lot of damage from that a couple of weeks ago, and now you've got this storm bearing down on you with potential for a tornado. So if you are a student at Jacksonville State University, if you live in Jacksonville, or any of northern Calhoun County, and again we stress, this does not include Anniston. If you live in Anniston, Oxford, East Aboga, Sacs, Lindlock, Weaver, you don't need to do anything. This is all north of you. Now, you might come under a warning later, but for this storm, this does not include you. This is for the northern part of Calhoun County. And again, that will be crossing over into northern Cleburne County. And we'll take we're going to watch these very carefully. And we're watching not only the reflectivity, we're also watching the velocity displays. So let's go back to the high-res radar, which has velocity on it. And again, we're still seeing very strong evidence of storm rotation right there. That's pretty close to Jacksonville. I'd say this thing, Charles, right by Pleasant Valley High School. Now, whether it's down, we don't know that. This radar beam is a few thousand feet off the ground. In this part of Alabama, you can look at it from Birmingham or Huntsville, but the beams are high. The only way to know what's going on down at the surface, it's you. That's why being trained as a storm spotter is a big deal, and we need more of them. But again, this circulation will be near or just north of Jacksonville here very soon. And everybody in Jacksonville and Angel, and you need to stay in your safe place. I can give an all clear now for areas along and west of US 431 in Calhoun County. Along and west of US 431, this is an all clear. The concern is now along and east of US 431. And again, that circulation getting very close to the city of Jacksonville.
Yeah, they need to be in their safe place now. If you guys aren't there, go now.
Yeah, you just don't want to fool around with this. So that's our storm in Calhoun County. And again, you look up here in Cherokee County, and that's your circulation up here. It's broad, but again, the radar beam is way up off the ground. We don't know exactly what's going on underneath this, and the right thing to do is to maintain that tornado warning. So the tornado warning remains in effect for Cherokee County until Charles.
Cherokee County is
We've had
actually out of it, or I'm sorry, is until 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, for 30 more minutes. So,
Etowah County was cleared just a little while.
right. Etowah County's been cleared from all warning, from the tornado warnings. The warning continues for Calhoun. So for Cherokee and Calhoun County until 9 o'clock. That's
Right.
for the next 30 minutes. So again, that's circulation number 1. This is coming across Weiss Lake. And if you live in Cherokee County near the lake, you need to be in a safe place. We'll give you an all clear in Leesburg and Sand Rock. If you're in Leesburg and Sand Rock, all clear. This is way east of you now. Center, let's give it about 5 more minutes. We'll give you an all clear. 5 more minutes. The circulation is right over here, moving away from you. Galesville is up here. We can give Galesville an all clear. This is way south of you. Cedar Bluff, I'd still stay sheltered just to be safe. I think it's going to stay south of you, but to be on the safe side, I'd stay sheltered. And again, that'll keep on coming down here toward Forney. So if you're in Cherokee County, you need to be in a safe place. And again, we'll go down to our storm that is in Calhoun County. And that thing looks pretty nasty. I don't like the way that looks.
Yeah, that's if you're in Jacksonville or areas northward, you need to be in your safe place immediately. I mean, Jacksonville all the way to the county line, almost up to Piedmont, you need to be in your safe place.
And we got a new tornado warning for St. Clair for this thing.
Just pulled that one up, yeah.
All right, we got a new tornado warning for St. Clair County, and understand this is for a tornado that is going to be crossing just below Asheville. Asheville is right here. Asheville Middle Elementary and High School is about right here. That's tornado right there, or a very strong indication of a tornado on radar. That's a split. That's 411 going down to Odenville, US 231 going down to Pell City. This tornado is going to be crossing really, really close down here to the schools, the vocational schools that's right here, that section of Asheville, which is just south of downtown Asheville, and the courthouse. So again, that is a very tight signature here. So this is a brand new tornado warning in effect for St. Clair County. This is going to be in effect until 9:15 tonight. So again, we've got a serious looking storm there. If you're in Shoal Creek Valley, you need to be in a safe place right now. Don't wait. Get into a safe place. All right. And then over here, that is a bad looking circulation. I'll quote Gerald Satterwhite down at the National Weather Service, a nasty tornado passing near just north of Jacksonville based on velocity. And I'll agree, that is just bad. Again, the radar beam is a few thousand feet off the ground. I don't know if there's a tornado down, but with that kind of signature, you've got to take that thing seriously. So again, everybody in Jacksonville should be sheltered. You should have been sheltered 25 minutes ago when the warning was issued, but you've really got to be sheltered here. And again, that's out here. It's crossed over around Pleasant Valley High School, and again, that's going to be coming out just north of Jacksonville, right up Alabama Highway 21. That's a very, very dangerous storm. So if you are in or near Jacksonville, and especially north of Jacksonville, you've got to be sheltered right now, and that thing's going to keep on coming, and ultimately it's going to be crossing over Highway 9 over here below Piedmont. A lot of times storms weaken once the sun goes down. But Charles, we have this dynamic forcing coming in here, and a lot of times it doesn't work that way. And the air is very ripe and very volatile, and we encourage everybody, if you are in any of these tornado warnings we talk about tonight, you really do need to be in a safe place, because these storms mean business. The best thing we hope for is that they're aloft and that they're not down, but you sure can't take that to the bank. So that is a very dangerous thunderstorm. But so far, no damage, Charles.
Aside from a few trees down that we've had reports of throughout parts of Blount County, I think in Coleman County as well, trees down is the only thing we've heard of, and it may be just a few spots here and there, just a minimal damage of trees, but no major damage and no injuries. More importantly, we haven't heard of any injuries yet, and I think that's the most important part.
Right, but again, listen, Jacksonville, over here to Highway 9, Nance's Creek, Piedmont, you got to be in a safe place. There is a good chance this thing stays south of Piedmont, but Piedmont, you're in the polygon. You are, so I would be sheltered. But on Highway 9 here, this thing was probably going to cross somewhere but south of Piedmont. And again, the best community I could call out over here is Nance's Creek. So we'll see. This is coming through a very populated part of the world over here, Charles. And again, the one thing about it with social media, we pretty much have a feel if there's something going on here. And we see a lot of reports of hail, and goodness, I've probably had 1,000 pictures of hail. And here's a report. Somebody says that the hail has been so intense, caused airbags to deploy.
Oh, I bet.
Which is just...
James, check out the correlation coefficient there at Jacksonville. I mean, it's pegged off the charts. So there's a pretty good signature there that we've got at least some debris or something lofted.
Oh, brother, this is horrifying. All right, look, this is a TDS. That's a tornado debris signature. This is correlation coefficient. When you get a negative CC, that means the radar is telling us that there's something different about the echoes there. It's not precipitation. This is stuff like tree limbs, parts of buildings being lofted. This is not a good sign. And Charles, thanks for pegging that. This is a TDS, a tornado debris signature. And I would say that we've got a tornado down at Jacksonville. It is urgent that you are sheltered if you live in Jacksonville, if you're on the campus of Jacksonville State University. You should have been sheltered 30 minutes ago. This was a 30-minute lead time. But again, a negative CC here, that is a TDS, tornado debris being lofted. I was in Indianapolis speaking at a weather conference this weekend, spent some time with Brian Smith at the Storm Prediction Center. He had a study of TDS signatures like this. They correlate every time. It's stunning how well this works. That's debris being lofted. We'll have damage out here. I'll guarantee there's damage somewhere over here, Angel, Pleasant Valley, back over to Jacksonville. And that intense signature continues moving on to the east. And again, that's going to keep on crossing over Highway 21 over here to Highway 9. Listen up. If you live in Nance's Creek, you got to be in a safe place. Okay? Now, if you're in Piedmont, I want you in a safe place too. Piedmont's up here. Nance's Creek is right here, and that thing is coming right over this way. This is going to go north of White Plains. North of White Plains, south of Piedmont. Nobody should be driving along Highway 9, and certainly nobody should be along Highway 21, is that the tornado circulation more than likely is now a smidgen east of Jacksonville. So again, this is correlation coefficient with a negative CC hole like that. That's debris that's being lofted, and goodness, it's still there. That's a new volume scan. This is not going away, so we have...
Yeah, and they've issued a tornado warning for Cleburne County as well, so you guys go ahead and make your way to the safe place.
Yeah, so a tornado warning in effect now for Cleburne County for this intense circulation. And again, we're going to come back to that in just a second, but let me go back to the velocity display. We have multiple tornadoes here, multiple tornadoes. So that's tornado number one right there. This is the one that is at Jacksonville. Let's go to the one at Asheville over here. All right, so this is broadened out a little bit. That doesn't look as good as it did maybe 5 minutes ago, but still, there's a chance we have a tornado down that's approaching Shoal Creek Valley. If you live in Shoal Creek Valley, you need to go to a safe place. That is a small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. That's the deal. I wish I could show you live video of these tornadoes. We know that when you see it, you do something. We've learned through social science studies, when you see this, you see a bucket of spilled paint. I understand that, but please hear my voice if you hear us call out your town tonight and you're under a tornado warning. This is serious business. So if you're in south of Asheville, over to Shoal Creek Valley, you want to be in a safe place.
And the correlation coefficient's beginning to drop there as well.
Yeah, that's...
We're starting to get a signature there.
We'll take a look at that same CC product to see if we can see debris being lofted. And yeah...
It's gonna be north of Raglan in a minute, but...
Right. So again, the negative CC hole is going to be... Oh, let me get my pen back on here. It's going to be right there. And it looked a little better a minute ago.
Yeah.
In fact, let me animate this thing. This is the tornado. We have a tornado warning in effect for St. Clair County. And again, watch for negative CC.
Right there.
You saw it right there. It looks like it might have been down briefly. We had debris being lofted there, and it's still here. We still have a negative CC, but it's not like the one we're seeing in Jacksonville. But still, again, if you're in Shoal Creek Valley, be in a safe place. This possible tornado is going to be passing north of Raglan. Raglan is right down here. Tornado here, that'll be coming over here toward Ohatchee. And again, if you're in any of these places, be in a safe place. So, and we've got the other circulation that's up here in Cherokee County, and this is on by Center. If you live in Center or Leesburg or Sand Rock, you're all clear in Cherokee County. The concern is going to be down to the south and east of here. If you're in Cedar Bluff, you're good. If you're in Galesville, you're good. This tornadic circulation is going to be crossing over into Georgia in a matter of minutes. So for a few more minutes, we have a tornado warning in effect for Cherokee County in northeast Alabama.
Yeah, that's right. Highway 411 headed into Cave Spring, Georgia. I take that route all the time, and there's a lot of folks and farms out there. You guys just know you need to be in that safe place.
Okay, we're getting reports now from the sheriff in Calhoun County. We have homes damaged in Wellington from this thing. Wellington is pretty close to US 431 near Alabama Highway 204. And I just have great fear that we're going to have other reports of damage. Hopefully this thing is down in a rural area where there are just trees and trees are down. Something's down. And again, as we get additional information from law enforcement, we'll pass that on to you. But again, this is a violent-looking signature here east of Jacksonville. And let me just say now, for Jacksonville, we can give you an all clear. Jacksonville State, the city of Jacksonville, we can all clear you. The concern now shifts over here to Highway 9. Piedmont, running down Highway 9 to Nance's Creek. You've got to be in a safe place in Nance's Creek. If you live anywhere near Nance's Creek, if you even know where that is, and if you live along Highway 9, you need to be in a safe place. This is north of White Plains. Okay, thanks, Chris. He just told me in my ear that JSU's on spring break this week, which is a good thing. Many of the kids are back home, which is great, but yet a lot of people live in Jacksonville, and some kids stay behind on spring break. But again, that's a violent tornadic signature that's about to cross Highway 9 near Nance's Creek. That's going to be coming over into Cleburne County. We kind of have this odd handoff here for Cleburne County, Alabama. Cleburne County, Alabama is in the Atlanta television market. We don't choose markets. It's based on the viewing habits of people that live there. But we'll stay with this because this thing is so dangerous. And we'll kind of give you an idea of where this might stretch on through Cleburne County. Look, the Interstate 20 is down here. That's your tornado, and again, that'll be coming down this way, and more than likely, this is going to stay north of US 78.
And it looks like it's almost taking a little bit more of a right-hand turn.
Yeah,
at this point.
They're all right-hand turners tonight, which means that they're not moving northeast, they're moving south of due east. So instead of doing that, they're doing this. So again, this is the part of Cleburne County we'll have to worry about. US 78 is down here, Interstate 20 is down here. All of this will be north of Interstate 20. There's no risk from this circulation to Interstate 20. There might be later, but again, if you're in northern Cleburne County, and there's your polygon border right there, this is basically Fruithurst, Edwardsville north. And if you're in the northern part of Cleburne County, you want to be in a safe place. Small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. No mobile homes, no cars, nobody driving around this thing. Let's take a look at the correlation coefficient, and let's see if this thing is still there. And yes, it is. Wow. Goodness.
And that's headed towards like Rabbit Town and Jenkins and
I don't like it. What this is showing us, this is debris to at least 15,000 feet. 15,000 feet, debris from the surface being lofted up. Which means this is a very significant tornado. And we don't play the game where you say this is an EF something. You don't know what the EF rating is until you survey the damage. But again, this is in a good position environment-wise to stay down into Cleburne County. So we have debris being lofted. And again, based on the radar data, the debris is coming up to about 15,000 feet. That's a fur piece up. And debris being lofted, that's parts of buildings, parts of trees, parts of homes, roofing, stuff that's being taken up from below. A tornado is a violently rotating updraft. And so this is a very dangerous storm with a negative CC max right here that's coming over into Cleburne County. Wow. Wish I had better news for there. So again, let's go back to the velocity display. And we're working multiple circulations. We're going to bounce back and forth between these. And again, we've got the hail, and if you guys have some good hail video, we'll take that. But we're going to try and focus on these life-threatening storms here. It's going to take me a while to look at all these hail pictures, but some of this stuff is just heartbreaking. You're going to see some, just a lot of people will be suffering in days because of the damage to their homes, their cars, and their businesses and everything else. So again, a tornado that is moving out of Calhoun into Cleburne County, northern Cleburne County. Heflin, you are not in the polygon. You are not under a tornado warning. If you are in Heflin, Alabama, no tornado warning. There's your polygon edge right there. Edwardsville and points north, the northern part of Cleburne County. Let's go to our St. Clair County circulation. It's still there. This thing is right there. The circulation in St. Clair County is passing north of Ragland. And again, this is your polygon. It kind of almost cuts right through the cement plant. Ever been to the cement plant in Raglan, Charles?
Been through there. I've been through that area.
So this will continue moving over here toward Ohatchee. This is Alabama Highway 77. The Coosa River is right here. This is the Neely Henry Dam. You drive over that if you're over here on the highway, and Lake Neely Henry is right up here on the Coosa. The dam sits right here. That's your tornadic circulation. And again, moving a little south of due east. So this is going to be awfully close to Ohatchee, or maybe just south of there down Highway 77. But clearly everybody in Ohatchee should be sheltered. I don't think technically there's a tornado warning for Calhoun with this. But
I wouldn't be surprised if they expand it.
Again, in a situation like this, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. You need to be sheltered. So again, Ohatchee or points south down Highway 77, you want to be sheltered from this. And while we've got it here, let's take a look at the correlation coefficient, and let's see if we still see debris being lofted here. Not really, no. That's a good thing. We saw a negative CC, a possible debris signature south of Asheville, and the velocity was very impressive at that point. But again, we've kind of lost that. We'll check with the law enforcement in St. Clair County and Asheville to see if there's any damage with this. But still, even though there's not a CC min right there, we want everybody to stay in a safe place, a small room on the lowest floor near the center away from windows. And look at this. I mean, this one right here almost looks like it's ramping up again. You can almost see these things just lined up. Looks like there's another circulation developing back to the west of Jacksonville. Wow. So let's take a look at
They actually issued a new tornado warning for that second one, it looks like.
Got a tornado warning for Calhoun
just
again.
did that.
Jacksonville, go back into your safe place now. Okay, the first one cleared you. This is the first one that came through. Here comes another one. We got another strong signature here on radar. There's got to be a boundary here. There's got to be something going on over here that's backing the winds to the southeast at the surface. But that is a very dangerous looking storm. Two of them. That is just ugly. So again, tornadic circulation coming into Cleburne, northern Cleburne. Another tornadic circulation coming right at Jacksonville. I know you were just in your safe place. You go back in there. A lot of times we can't give you a long lead time, but this is a very dangerous storm coming right into Jacksonville, and you got to be sheltered. This is the second. And to keep in mind, there's that third one back over there in St. Clair County we'll have to watch. There is clearly, Charles, a boundary here.
Yeah.
I will bet my left elbow that if you go do a mesoanalysis tomorrow morning, you'll find an outflow boundary or something down here that's enhanced things. And the key is small-scale boundaries with these events like this. So a tornadic circulation here coming into Cleburne, tornadic circulation coming into Jacksonville again. And basically, I'm going to call out the same places I called out the first time. It was like a practice run. You've got to be in your safe place again. And while we've got this, let's check for a correlation coefficient minimum here. And boy, we had one clearly on the lead one, but that seems to have waned a little bit, which is good. Okay, and remember, we're getting farther and farther away from the radar. And you really don't see a big hole like that in the new one approaching Jacksonville, but that still doesn't, it takes it a while for the debris to get up that high. The radar beam is way up off the ground. So even though you don't see a CC hole like that, you got to be in your safe place. That's all you need to know. So again, that's the reflectivity, and this is the velocity. The velocity tells the story. Boy, look at this thing. Circulation number one coming into Cleburne, north of Edwardsville, north of Fruithurst, north of Heflin. Circulation number two coming into Jacksonville. Same thing as before. Remember, this one is following this one. This sucker is chasing this sucker. All right? And so if you were sheltered the first time, you got to be sheltered the same time. That means Nance's Creek, same deal. You got to be sheltered. And we're going to watch this third one over here near Ohatchee. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Like trains on a track. And again, there's got to be some boundary focusing this stuff. And remember, this is sagging down to the south. But clearly, that is a very dangerous situation we have here. So 3 tornadic circulations right now. Another storm is coming for Jacksonville. And again, we stress, if you're in Jacksonville, that thing is right over you right now. We have a tornadic circulation at Jacksonville, a tornadic circulation coming to northern Cleburne, a tornadic circulation nearing nearing Ohatchee. Now, we'll see if the Weather Service chooses to extend the warning that's in effect for St. Clair. But at this point, you somehow just kind of, when there's so much going on like this, you don't worry about these warnings and boundaries and everything else. If you're close to one of these circulations, you just go to a safe place. Don't worry about the logistics. You get into a safe place. That's the best thing for you and your family. So tornadic circulation 1 into Cleburne. Tornadic circulation number 2 coming into Jacksonville again. This is the second one that you've dealt with. And a third one near Ohatchee, and we'll see if that one holds together. That one came through the southern part of the city of Asheville about 30 minutes ago. And all of this is sagging down to the south, but all of this is north of Anniston, north of Oxford, north of Sacs, north of Weaver. This is not affecting anybody down there. This is all up here in the northern part of Calhoun County. In Piedmont, it's really south of you. Piedmont sits up here in the northern part of Calhoun County along 278. So this is all to the south of Piedmont. So northern Cleburne, Jacksonville, circulation coming into Ohatchee. Charles, any damage reports on your end over there?
Watching the damage reports, most of what I'm getting was out of Southside just a little while ago. We saw some damage reports out of Southside, some trees across roads in Leesburg and stuff like that. The Southside damage was mainly some trees down, some power lines down throughout Green Valley Road area in Southside. A couple of trees down on structures, on a vehicle, and that was being reported by ham operators. So that's what we know out of Southside. I am going to be surprised if we don't get something coming out of that Jacksonville storm now as it's moving east, and we're going to watch that because that one still, I think the correlation coefficient is actually ramping back up just a little bit. And then, of course, now we've got a second circulation moving into Jacksonville. So again, I'll be surprised if we don't start to hear a little bit more, especially around the Jacksonville area. If you guys are out there, just stay in your safe place right now. We don't need you out there getting us a report. Just stay in your safe place until it's clear. Then you can let us know what's happening. Don't get out on the roads. Let first responders do their job. And of course, just protect yourself, protect your family first before you get out there on the roads, especially with power lines being reported down. That's awfully dangerous. So please be safe this evening and tomorrow morning. It's going to be an early morning for a lot of folks trying to clean up some damage, I believe.
All right, so again, we are coming up on 9 o'clock, and let's go back to the graphics and let's show the entire state again. We are focusing on life-threatening storms, and we're going to show a big view so you can see your town and see where you are in relation to the storms. For some of you, it's not rained a drop today. For some of you, you've got devastating damage. It's been that kind of a day. So, Charles, let's expand this out. I'm going to show the whole state or the whole viewing area so everybody can see what's happening where they are. We have new storms forming in the Birmingham metro. Let's take a look at these. These are not severe, but they could be. Remember, conditions are volatile. We got heavy rain falling at Gardendale, up right in the middle of Gardendale here. That's US 31. Heavy rain along Interstate 22. And also showers forming down here around Bessemer and the Oxmoor Valley. These things could go severe at any time. Got a thunderstorm developing in Tuscaloosa County near Abernat. That could go severe. We've got to keep our eye on the ball here because understand, just because it's not rained in some places, this whole thing's not over. So new storms are forming across the Birmingham metro, down into Tuscaloosa County. You can see the individual storms moving south of due east, the entire area slowly progressing down to the east. The risk of severe storms, the good news, has ended for northwest Alabama. The shoals and places like that, the tornado watch has been canceled for Fayette, Lamar, Marion, and Winston. If you're in those counties, your risk of severe weather has ended. We still have the tornado watch in effect for the counties in yellow until 11 o'clock tonight. And all of these red polygons, those are tornado warning polygons for the storms that are just really, really packing a punch. And if you're just joining us, the main devastation tonight, it's not been from tornadoes, it has been from large, destructive hail. We have major, major hail damage in many parts of North Alabama, and I'm afraid this is going to be a very, very costly night in terms of damage to homes and businesses and vehicles. It's been brutal tonight where the large hail has been falling. But again, right now, tornado warnings in effect for northern St. Clair or northeastern St. Clair, northern Calhoun, northern Cleburne. This does not include Interstate 20, which runs through the southern part of these counties. A tornado warning in effect for Cherokee, and the Weather Service in Atlanta has extended that back over into northwestern Georgia. So that's where our trouble spots are right now. Let's go back to the velocity display. And again, we're going to be looking for the wind fields on this. We'll go back to WEX 05, and this will be our velocity display. And again, things are still looking pretty impressive with these circulations. I mean, the one that's right here east of Jacksonville, this is the second circulation that's come over Jacksonville tonight. And then this one over here, this is what came over Jacksonville earlier. This is coming into northern Cleburne County, so we've got two of these things. And while we have this, we'll check the correlation coefficient, and we don't have that intense minimum we had earlier. There's still one over here with this rotation in Cleburne County, but we really don't have one with the second circulation back in Jacksonville. So we don't know for sure if there's anything down, but that first one that came through, yes, we have very high confidence. In fact, we know there was damage, at least in Wellington, to some homes. And again, if we get additional information from Calhoun County Sheriff or law enforcement, we'll pass that on to you. But this is circulation number one. This is coming into Cleburne County. Remember the radar beam getting higher and higher, which makes it harder to see that debris being lofted. And then this is the second circulation coming into Nance's Creek. That'll be on Highway 9 south of Piedmont. It is not as intense as it was earlier this evening. And again, the circulation, the good news, the circulation that was over St. Clair County has really weakened. And as it is now over Ohatchee, that is a fairly broad circulation, and the Weather Service has opted really not to extend the St. Clair County warning over at this point. So, Charles, you know, this looks pretty broad here. And
you know what, though? I would say also there might be some hail in that thing, though. If you switched over, maybe a little bit further back to the west, maybe closer to Raglan, though, out of that storm. So I'm going to be surprised if we don't see some more hail damage out of that.
Right. And let me
from Asheville to Raglan and Ohatchee, you guys might be running into some hail.
Let me pass along some damage information. This is a report. The roof is off the Dollar General near JSU's Coliseum. The roof is gone. There's a car in a tree, and Gamecock Village and Reserve Apartments have been hit by a tornado. This is a report. I can't confirm that personally, but I have reason to believe it's a valid source.
Yeah.
So if you guys in news can help me confirm that, and let's get somebody to Jacksonville ASAP. Okay, we do have somebody en route now, and we're going to work on confirming that. Just check with Jacksonville Fire. Again, Chris, the roof is off a Dollar General near the Coliseum, and there's a car in a tree, and Gamecock Village and the Reserve Apartments have been hit. That's the report, and we're going to work to confirm that. But again, I believe the source is valid, and based on the signature we saw, we know something was down there. But again, that circulation you see near Ohatchee, very, very broad. That is not a tornadic circulation, which is good. We've still got our two sister circulations, and this is the one that hit Jacksonville. It is coming through northern Cleburne, north of US 78, north of Edwardsville, north of Fruithurst. And that'll be crossing over into Georgia soon in about 10 minutes. But that could have really caused a lot of damage. And again, Jacksonville has had a very challenging month with the damage they sustained a couple of weeks ago from basically a shower in a very dynamic situation that knocked down a whole lot of trees around the city and on the campus. But again, we're going to confirm the Jacksonville damage, and again, we have a reporter that will be there very soon, and as soon as we get there, we will pop up the live view and we'll take a look at that. So the tornado warning, and by the way, let me just say that up in Calhoun County, that tornado warning has ended. The Cleburne, Cherokee County tornado warning is over. Cherokee County warning is over. That storm has moved into Georgia. That ended at 9 o'clock. So really we're down to these circulations. You see them kind of lined up here. This one, which is very broad, I don't believe that's a tornado. This one, which is broadening out, this is east of Jacksonville. And this one in Cleburne County, and this is the one